Have you ever loved something so much that you just want to make it happen every day? Me neither. This is a podcast today. Another day, another pod, another film, and this one's for my pretentious people out there. Look, I'm being harsh on it already from the jump. I mean, all of these films, I guess I'm technically harsh and I don't like them. But then why are you recommending them? Because it's the whole bit. Because it's the whole thing we're just kind of doing here. You know? I've got bad taste. I recommend films I don't like. It's kind of what we do. And this one is liked for a different reason. Like some of the other ones is like, oh, that was a really good film, but the ending wasn't great, or that was just a shite film altogether. And this one, I can't. It's the only time I've went to go see something in the cinema. I thought I'll give this a go. I'm trying to get into my movie bag. I'm trying to get into being a bit more of a. I actually want to like watch the Oscars, so I just like spoke and accidentally hit my teeth together, and it kind of hurt. I want to like watch the Oscars and maybe know more than one film that's nominated, and that film to not just be in visual effects. So I watched a couple more in the recent years. I saw Coda, that won Best Picture. I saw what won Best Picture last year. I've exposed myself. What won Best Picture last year? I want to say. I feel like I should know this, but I don't remember at all. I really don't know. Really don't. And it's not coming to me. I'm going to give myself 5 seconds. I'll give myself a time limit, or I'm going to just be here for hours. It was. Is it Everything Everywhere All at Once? Maybe? No, that must have been the year before. It was something. I don't know, but this year will be Oppenheimer. I did see that. Saw Barbie. Anything else? Those are the two most watched movies of the year, mate. So did you see any of the... No, didn't see Zone of Interest. No, didn't see... Today's is The French Dispatch, by the way. Just want to get that out there. Not even a film that's, like, loved by everyone. I'm sure a lot of people don't even think it's Wes Anderson's best or even top 3. I think a lot of people, from what I've not seen any, apart from Fantastic Mr. Fox, which just makes me look like an absolute... decent enough film. I'm not head over heels for it. It's alright. I haven't seen it since I was a little boy. I think a lot of people, from what I've heard, would go Grand Budapest Hotel. Actually, as we're on the French Dispatch, directed by Wes Anderson, came out in 2021, we can easily see his films by just clicking on his name. So out of these ones, I reckon people's top 3 would be, what do I hear a lot of love before? I think the Grand Budapest Hotel. I think people would probably go with... I hear Moonrise Kingdom a lot. I don't know if that's liked though. Damn, none of these are actually jumping off the page to me. Going, oh, that's one people call a classic. Life Aquatic, I feel like I hear it being a classic a lot. So if I had to guess, I'd probably say those 3, because I felt some people were kind of cold on Asteroid City, but then they came round to it, sort of like this is going to be maybe a sort of, link, sort of, that people haven't really made before. Similarity, which maybe people wouldn't have put together, but Asteroid City and Whole Lot of Red. That's Playboy Carti. How are they similar? Just in the sense that people didn't like it when it came out, and then it kind of grew on people. Yo, he was ahead of the wave, whatever. People kind of came around to Asteroid City, but I remember people not being over the moon for... I'm not saying they were bad, but French Dispatch or Asteroid City. I just feel like I'm surprised people have seen like 8, 9, 10 of these projects from Wes Anderson. And after they saw the second one, they wasn't already just bored of it. The way people kind of got bored of Taika Waititi, like found him funny when he first came on their screens, and a lot of people all of a sudden they saw 2 or 3 Taika Waititi stuff, and they was acting like he's everywhere. It's too much. We don't like Taika. This guy, oh, he's too much. Like you just like him in small doses. That it was like that for a lot of people. I'm surprised more people didn't like see a couple of these Wes can I call you Wes? These Wes projects. I was just like, yep, okay, so it's these still sort of shots which like sort of pan across, and everything's kind of like a doll's house with this dun 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 like kind of music, and then yeah, and like I said, I've not seen some of these early ones. Maybe they have more character in them, a bit more life, but out of like French Dispatch, which might be like a bad one to start with, because to be fair, when I see clips on Grand Budapest, although it has that same obvious style, it isn't as much like a storybook. Like even if you look at the French Dispatch poster, it's like a doll's house. It's like a little 2D image. and the characters are not necessarily 2D, but it doesn't really matter if they're 2D or 3D because they're presented in a way, and you've got three stories in one film that they could be the most deep, you know, seven-dimensional characters. It doesn't really matter because they're just kind of, they feel like characters, like in a little book that you never think about ever again, and then they kind of, nothing really matters, and it's like this. I was just sitting there with a bunch of old people who I could tell were liking it. Oh yeah, oh right, oh quite, oh, and he did that, yeah, yeah, as they left type thing, and I was just like, I saw it in a shit cinema as well. It was like dingy. I never went in a cinema before, and like I'm always, this is stupid, but in my head I always like scared someone's watching and is laughing at me at my, you know, at my expense. Like the building looked so derelict that I didn't want to walk up to the door and try and open it in case it was locked, and and someone walking past saw me try and go into a derelict building and had a little chuckle to themselves. No one would care. So I sat outside on a bench, just like, is anyone else gonna walk in? Are there people in there for like 10 minutes? Genuinely, just like sitting, and then eventually I was like, just go, pull the door. I went, pulled the door. It immediately opened. I walked in. What? Why did I sit outside on the bench for 10 minutes for no reason? Literally just thinking that through my head. I don't know. Then I walked in there. Oh, there is life. There was a person sort of poked, very Wes Anderson, sort of poked out from behind the counter. I go in there, about four other people in the screen. Legroom awful. Seats not great. Screen size pretty mid to small. And I left. I mean, after like 20 minutes, I knew, right, this ain't. I've overstepped a boundary here. I've waded into territory. That's like when you go out swimming in the seaside or whatever, and there's like the little boys and say, "Don't go past there." I got a bit arrogant. I thought I'll go past, and then immediately I've been, oh, I'm drowning type thing. Yeah, this ain't for me. Don't like it. And I just sat, because I never. A lot of these Oscar-y films, you kind of think, oh, they're all going to have this pretentious style. They're going to be about this pigeon perspective Russian Aronofsky. I'm just making up words, right? But like realistically, since I've been trying to get into it a little bit more, it's been like Coda, Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's been like Oppenheimer and Barbie, and like Marriage Story would be an example of maybe one. But I didn't watch that and immediately go, oh, this is so pretentious. This is just so like, oh my god, they're just doing the thing. Like a lot of these films you go and watch them, you're like, oh, actually that was quite decent, that was quite good. And The French Dispatch, although it wasn't nominated for like loads and loads of Oscars, I don't think it was maybe nominated for any. Actually, now I think about it, it was the first kind of film, like film. No, film. Like it was the first like not movie but film that I went to go see and was like, oh yeah, this is just a style that I thought all Oscar-y kind of films were, and it just wasn't for me. Heavy stacked cast. That's how they get a lot of people in, I guess. Heavy stacked cast, playing cameo roles and just hyper stylistic, basically. Let's read the synopsis, if there could even be one. The staff of, oh yeah, it is all kind of connected through. Honestly, I don't even know what the story. I probably was just sort of Homelander meme in The Boys where his eyes just glaze over and he's just like looking at the, so he's playing the ringing in the ears, and then it ended. The staff of a European publication decides to publish a memorial edition highlighting the three best stories from the last decade. An artist sentenced to life imprisonment, student riots, and a kidnap. Yeah, so it's like loosely linked by like Bill Murray every 5 minutes being like, "Hey, these are connected. Get back to the thing." But apart from that, it's like it's just like some short. There's just three shorts chucked together basically. I gave it 2 stars. The average rating by fans is a 3.7. I'm considerably below that. It's got, you know, Adrian Brody, Tilda Swinton, a bunch of other people I don't know the names of, but recognize their faces like crazy. Jeffrey Wright, Timothy Chalamet, Francis McDormand, Bill Murray, and more. Best believe there's, oh, Saoirse Ronan is in it. Tony Revolori, of course. I mean, what do I want to do next? I mean, it came out in 2022. No, 2021. So let's read a couple of other people's reviews to see what the other consensus was, I guess, from people. I mean, look, you see some of these other ones. Wes Anderson, I Love You. I mean, she gave it a 3.5 stars, so it's not exactly like she was head over heels, but you know. Let's see what the top three most popular reviews said. He he was Anderson's Too Close to the Sun. I like that. I know exactly what you mean. And to be honest, that's the vibe I kind of got without even seeing other Wes Anderson projects. Like this one was the one leaning most into like a certain bag. You know, you could make you Taika Waititi Too Close to the Sun. I'm kind of just comparing Wes Anderson and Taika Waititi a lot, just because I think they're people who have a style, and everyone likes a style until the style happens either too long or there's too much of it in one project, and all of a sudden people turn on you. I like this one. To be fair though, this person said he was Anderson's Too Close to the Sun. I'm starting to think maybe they meant in a good way, which doesn't really make sense for the original like phrase or whatever, because they gave it 4 stars. So maybe they just thought it was like this is a great review regardless of if I thought it was good or bad. The next one says, I feel like I just ate a perfectly cooked meal by one of my favorite chefs. Just the right number of courses, delicious. Oh, I was expecting this to turn into like another like joke kind of good review, but it was just like a serious actual review. Also 4 stars. Sorry, this one's 5 stars. You can't very positive app slash website letterbox. You can't dislike things. So many likes around here, but that's fine. Everything I wanted it to be and more. I know on my inevitable fifth, sorry, this is quite far away, so I'm struggling to read it. Inevitable fifth watch, I'll decide this is a 5 stars, so I may as well just take one for the team and be the first, I promise I can read, be the first person I know to give it a 5 now. And who cares about stars anyway? I loved it. I had a good ass time. What else is there to it? When you read at people with opinions so different to yours, you just realize you're living in a crazy world. I saw like Arabic script earlier because Formula One's got a race in Qatar, and it was like this Arabic looking kind of script, and I kind of just I was just looking at it thinking like it said the drivers' names in English on the top, and underneath was their name in like the script, and I'm trying to avoid making a bad joke about the bands of the scripts that just doesn't need to be here. So, and as I was just looking at it thinking, I've never really thought about it, but it's blowing my mind right now. It was like a swooshy saw and some dots and some lines. I'm like, that is somehow, where does the letters begin? Where do they end? Do they even correlate like that? Is it just something completely? And then I was thinking about like Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Hong Kong, that kind of writing, which is like the symbols and stuff. And it's just like, what, And I was just thinking, like, damn, if aliens came to this planet, that's how it'd just be completely, like, they would be doing things, if they was, like, intelligent enough and, like, had their own stuff going on, they'd be doing things in a way, like, they'd be speaking, like, the alphabet would be in, like, colours or something, just like, way you would never even get it. Because if there's other people on this planet writing out stuff, and I was just looking at it, I was just like, what? Wait, it was just like blowing my mind. Why am I talking about this? Oh, just when sometimes I hear other people's opinions on things I thought was utterly dog shit, and they give it like 5 stars, and just like, wow, we are so different. Not like me and you, person who gave it 5 stars. Yes, me and you are different in terms of what we like anyway. But like, it's just like, it's just crazy. I can eat something, spit it out. You can eat it. Yum yum. For food or for film, movies, TVs, anything, literally anything. It's just like how. It's just crazy. I was so bored in there watching it. It's like, imagine I was sitting there watching it next to someone like this who was loving it. Just like, wow. It's just like, how? What are you? You could explain it to me as well. Everything you liked about it. You could sit me down. I would just never. It's not that crazy, is it? People like different things, but when you actually deep it, it's like, but why is it so? What in your brain? Like, no, I'm sorry, I'm doubling down. It actually is interesting because it's like, what in your brain is making you just like it so much? With food and stuff, I get it a little bit more because I can boil it down to, oh, your taste buds are just more adjusted to that taste from a young age, or just naturally, so in your brain computes you like it. In terms of watching stuff, I don't think if I had a different upbringing, it'd then make me like this film. I don't think, or if I lived over there instead, or if I grew up in this country, or if I had these life experiences, I just think sometimes it's just something in your brain up there that you're just like, No. And what is it and why? Anyway, the French Dispatch, I gotta give it a review, don't I? I kind of forgot. There's something else I'm going to be doing here. Um, I'm gonna give it. Well, I've already given it 2 stars. It's just the review I got to write, and I'm gonna go with the French Dispatch. What could I say about you? Obviously, just going. It's just three shorts stitched together is like too obvious, too easy, and a lot of people would say that's a good thing about it. Um, I'm gonna go for. It's really hard. I should really try and think of these before I start. I got lucky with the first few where I just kind of came up with something in the moment. But now I feel like I spend all my time I'm in an hour and I need to be thinking of these ahead of time. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna go like I want to go like Wes Anderson. Um, I took, you know, I took Class A Wes Anderson on my first go. Or so I want to go. I want to go for something like that. It might be slightly changed. The letterbox be somewhere you can check out where it ended up being. But I want to go with something like that. Like I felt this is like hard. This is like if these were drugs. This is like Class A. You maybe want to like feed yourself in a little bit. You want to like what do they call it? Gateway. You know, you want a gateway. You want to like Fantastic Mr. Fox is probably the gateway. To be fair, I have seen that, but that was years ago. And this is like Class A injected into my veins, and that was a little bit too strong for me. And I was like, I took like mushrooms or something, and I just had a bad trip. Anyway, so I'm gonna go with something like that. It's staying at 2 stars. Honestly, I might drop it down to 1.5. I just don't ever want to see it again. But to be fair, sometimes my opinions back in the day were trash. I was looking through some old films I gave 2 stars because I'm just looking for films like that in that kind of bracket, and it's like, wow, there are some. The Parent Trap. What was I thinking? But yeah, no. So that's that. I think the next one I already know what it's going to be. Very different pace. More in my wheelhouse. Marvel film. One I hate still to this day. Iron Man 2. That should be tomorrow. Thank you. Dankeschön.